Hey folks, this is Patrick from ACappellaVGM. I've never done a channel update video before, so I thought I would take a few minutes and give you a little bit of an update about what I'm planning to do for the next few videos, what my plans are more long-term for the channel as well. I also want to take a few minutes and talk about why I quit YouTube for almost 7 years, and then what brought me back to making videos regularly again. This is going to be a pretty long video, so there's going to be timestamps here at the bottom. Feel free to skip around if you want, but if you want to watch the whole thing, that would be really good for my analytics. I'm trying to get to 4,000 watch hours and it's taking a long time. So I started my YouTube channel back in 2009. I was studying music in college and I lived with a bunch of other music majors. So we would often be playing video games together, and because we were all musicians, we would be singing along to the background music. Either with just nonsense syllables, or we would be having conversations, but like making up words to the tune of the video game music. I made that first video kind of as an inside joke for those roommates, and you can really tell that I didn't put a lot of effort into making it sound good. I just pretty much opened up GarageBand, chose whatever stock plugins that were available. I didn't mess with any of the compression or EQ. I didn't even know what those things did. I recorded it on my MacBook built-in microphone, and you can hear this creaking sound like 3 different times during the video. That's me adjusting my laptop screen, and I just left it in there. I didn't know what I was doing. But as I invested in better equipment, notably this microphone, which I bought in 2011 and I'm still using. The first video I made with it was the Bowser's stage, the Koopa Road theme from Super Mario 64, and I'm still using the same microphone and also the same computer to this day to record those videos. I need to upgrade my gear. The more videos I made, generally the better they start to sound. Around that same time, I was also starting to make an a cappella group at my university. There were no student-run a cappella groups at the time, and so I decided, well, I came into college really wanting to be in an a cappella group. There isn't another a cappella group. I gotta make one. And so I did. They're called the Beltones, and actually they still exist 10 years later. They've released multiple albums. I've actually arranged several of the tracks on those albums, so go check them out. So this channel was my way of fusing 2 great passions of mine, video game music and choral singing and a cappella groups. This ended up turning into kind of a hobby of mine. I would devote most of a Saturday to doing a quick arrangement and recording and putting up the video on that same day usually. And it was just something fun that I was doing, not for anyone else necessarily, just mostly for myself. And then I discovered that people started to like them. The breakthrough video that I had on my channel was the Super Mario Kart video. It actually got linked by a Dorkly article, a former College Humor website, and I got like 12,000 views and a couple hundred subscribers ultimately in the next month after that video was posted. When that happened, I really started to look at the video as a more serious project potentially that I could work on long term, and maybe start to, I don't know, maybe make money from YouTube. I don't know. It was at that point nobody really knew how to be a professional YouTuber. That wasn't really part of my consciousness at that point, I don't think. There was a point in 2013 where I really decided, you know what, I'm really going to take this channel very seriously, and I'm going to start releasing videos on a schedule, and I have a plan. I decided to put out a video that promised that I would release 1 video every single week for the rest of the summer. I did that with very little forethought, and I just put that promise out there into the world, and I did that exactly twice, and then I quit. I think I quit for 2 main reasons. The first reason, the sensible one, was that I was in graduate school at the time, and I thought, you know what, I probably should buckle down and really start studying, and I don't think I can do this long term throughout that process, which is probably a smart decision, but that's not really the reason I quit. The real reason I quit YouTube was because I was comparing myself to other YouTubers who were making videos, who had Patreon budgets, who were basically doing this as a full-time job. And I was comparing myself to them, getting bummed out when I didn't have the same level of success almost immediately, and I quit.
That's a bad reason to quit something that you like doing. That's a bad reason. Someone else's success is not your failure. Stop comparing yourself to them, or else you'll make yourself miserable.
This despite the fact that 2013 was actually the best year in the history of the channel up to that point. I was on track to double the amount of views that I'd gotten in previous years. If I had looked at that and thought, oh, this is incremental progress, and I'll continue to improve as I make more videos, that would have been a great motivating factor for me. I just didn't even notice it because I was so discouraged by other people's success. YouTube was never at that point a source of money for me. It was always just something I did for fun. It was a way of making music just for myself and not as part of a homework assignment or as part of a degree program. Every single time I've ever made one of these videos, I've had a blast doing it. It just brings me so much excitement and joy into my life, and it's just a fun hobby. In the time that I was off of YouTube, I developed my career as a composer, arranger, choral conductor, and I often arrange for a cappella groups, both high school and collegiate, all over the world. But then at a certain point, I started to feel in a rut musically. In early 2019, I think I was rehearsing to perform the Fauré Requiem for like the 4th time. None of the music I was making professionally was particularly challenging to me at that moment, and I just was kind of begging for an opportunity to do something really unique and different. And then I remembered, out of nowhere, that I had started recording a video just like this to promote a video that I was working on back in 2011. It was the a cappella summary of Ocarina of Time. And I want to apologize on the front end that I have a regrettable amount of facial hair. I'm sorry. Hey, this is Patrick from ACappellaVGM. Just want to give you a bit of an update about the channel and what kind of things I'm working on right now. I've been getting a lot of requests to do a song from Ocarina of Time. I would be glad to, because it is my favorite video game ever. What I'm choosing to do to give it justice is to do a medley of sorts, where I'm essentially going to tell the entire story of the video game through music.
Oh God, it's so bad. It's so bad.
At that point, I had arranged about 3 pages of the a cappella summary, which are featured now identically in the final video. And I thought, man, I'm really sad that I never finished that video. I never got to finish that video before I quit. What if I did a surprise drop? I worked on this video for months, and it was one of the most complicated musical projects of my entire life. And I remembered how exciting it was to make new videos. I remembered how challenging it was to record over myself. I remembered the feeling of satisfaction that I got listening to the final product. And I thought, oh man, this is fun. Why did I ever quit this? I think I had this expectation that I would release it and it would be a smash viral success, which, you know, is probably not the wisest thing to expect of any video. At the same time, releasing that video was such a satisfying moment for me, and I'm so glad that I did, because now I have this channel and I have somewhat of a little tiny community of people that are continuing to watch my videos. You are watching my videos, and I'm so grateful for that. So what's next? What's next for ACappellaVGM? Well, it's almost the summertime. There's going to be a few videos coming out in the future that are all part of a themed release. I'm very excited to announce the Summer of Video Game Music a cappella. I don't know if that's the final title. It's summer-themed covers. That's what's happening. From June until August, all of the covers that I release will be summer-themed. I'm talking island levels and beach levels and like swimming water levels. I'm going to be wearing Hawaiian shirts in all the videos and probably sunglasses too. It's going to be fun. So bring your swim trunks. The selected videos are mostly at this point set in stone. I've started recording a couple of them, but if you have any ideas for summer-themed levels that you want me to cover, now's the time to drop them. Go ahead and drop those in the comments. In the long term, there's a couple other projects that I have working in the background. I have started the plan for my next a cappella summary, but that's still many months away at this point. I've basically just started an outline of the script and pretty much just pick the songs that I want to cover, and that's about it. These videos take quite a bit of time and effort, way more than just doing a single cover video, and because of that, it's hard to work into my schedule, especially as the world returns to normal and I start doing rehearsals with my community choir and I start doing musical things in person now that we're all fully vaccinated. Paid musical work is always going to take precedence over ACappellaVGM. I'm still committed, however, to releasing 2 videos a month at this point. I think it's a pretty reasonable schedule for me so far, and I've released a video pretty much every 2 weeks since the beginning of the year, and I plan to continue doing that. Although, as we get later in the year, as we start approaching the release of the a cappella summary, I might slow things down a little bit. So stay tuned for more updates on that. The second long-term project is that I want to release an album of my covers by the end of the year. This will mostly be new stuff that I've done within the past year or so. I'm also planning to do a few of the earlier videos, like the Super Smash Bros. Melee cover, which to this day is probably my favorite single cover I've ever done. I've already started the process of cleaning up some of those vocals and recording additional takes to fill it out. My plan is to get this on Spotify and Bandcamp and other places for digital release by the end of the year. There are people that subscribed to me a decade ago and are still subscribed today, despite the fact that for most of that time I wasn't uploading at all. And to you I say, thank you so much for not clicking that unsubscribe button during that time. And for those of you who just subscribed the other day, thank you as well. I'm so grateful that you're getting some enjoyment out of my videos. It means a lot to me when I receive comments like, this made me smile, or this made me remember my childhood in a certain way. It just makes my day that I can make someone else's day. And that's really why I do these videos. I'm so glad to be making videos again. This has all been so much fun, and I hope that I can continue making videos for many years to come. If you want to help make that happen, there's a couple ways that you can support the channel directly. Number one is to share these videos with your friends. Maybe not this one, they probably wouldn't get it. But if you share my short videos and my acapella summaries with people who you think will like the videos, that will help these videos continue to grow and continue to get views and more subscribers, and you know the drill. Another thing you could do is like and subscribe. There's a reason that people ask for that. It's because it helps the algorithm show these videos to more people. And if you like videos, you'll see them more often. And lastly, if you want to support my channel more financially, you can do so at paypal.me/ACappellaVGM. I mentioned earlier that ACappellaVGM will always have to take a backseat towards paid musical work that I'm doing, and this allows me to prioritize ACappellaVGM as paid musical work. I don't really envision this channel ever becoming a full-time job, and I'm okay with that, but at the same time, there are a lot of things that I would like to do to improve the channel, and all of those things cost money. This microphone is 10 years old. The computer that I use to edit my videos and record the audio is also 10 years old. The green screen that's on my wall behind me was $6 worth of poster board that I bought from Michael's. I do all of the mixing and mastering myself, and to be honest, I don't really know what I'm doing, and I would really love to get to a place where I could start paying someone to help me with that. There's no obligation whatsoever to donate. I will still be releasing content regularly for everybody. If you don't have the money, or if this is not something you're interested in, that's totally fine. Anyway, folks, thank you so much for watching and for leaving nice comments at the bottom of my videos and for responding to my tweets and doing all the things that you do. I love hearing from all of you, and I really hope that I can continue to make great content for you. I'll see you next time.